get started. Look at that. I almost timed it perfectly. Almost. Piece by piece, bit by bit. Man man lai, as the Chinese say. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Right out of the gate, I'm going to remind you to give a thumbs up, like and subscribe. If you're on twitch.tv and you haven't subscribed in a while, maybe think about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you gifted a subscription, now's another good time to do it. And if you want to super chat or give stars to support the show, always welcome. If you cannot, right out of the gate, I also want to tell you that if you are not in a position where you can support the show or help the show or become a patron or any of that stuff, when I bring it up, don't feel bad. Understand that we get it and we love you just being here. And the gift of your time is plenty, and we're just here to cheer you up and get you through the madness. And oh boy, is there plenty of madness today. I don't know if you guys have been, it's hard to even wade into this because, apparently you can get into a lot of trouble on the internet pretending to be, playing doctor. What? No. And I haven't gotten into trouble for playing doctor for 44 years. In my defense, I was really good at it, but it's probably a skill you have to work on. But there's no shortage of people on the internet playing doctor these days. Man, oh shevitz, to those folks, they don't even need a white coat or a diploma. Why study? You get, elbow deep in a bunch of Rumble and BitChute videos and watch about, 9 YouTube videos on health. I mean, we're all instant expert. What more do you need? Peer review. What kind of commie nonsense is that? Welcome, by the way, settle in. Here we go. Apparently, I can always tell how, when the desperation is spiked on the right wing by how they grasp at something. They're like, oh, this is it. This is our in. Thank God. Something that gives us some sense of certitude that we're not, just adrift. And then it turns out not to be so. I mean, lumber prices, anyone? Anybody? No home costs of inability to get appliances. Anybody like that? All that stuff? Thank you guys. Level 2 hype train already happening on Twitch. Look at you guys. I'm so very proud. And what's beautiful about the Twitch response we get on here? Can I just say that there's one thing I don't do, mainly because I'm on 3 other channels at the same time and I want to be a complete prick to those folks, that I don't do on Twitch, which is have a running chat going on like brah the whole time. And then setting it on, members or bits rules so that basically, I can just ring the dinner bell for racists and psychopaths to come and just spew hate in a line of text. And it costs them 10 bits or something like that to do it. So they do it. And I'm not calling out any particular left-wing or left-leaning, allegedly left-leaning people who do that. I'm just mentioning it. I'm just bringing it up that it's really fucking gross. And you're basically, anybody who, is running interference and trying to help with social justice in this country and then runs a chat all the time where they're like, yeah, my mods got it after it sat there for a little while, but, it's, 50 cents just to drop in, a racial epithet. I mean, who could fault me for, as someone allegedly, right? Allegedly leaning left for basically pilfering funds from, right-wing nutcases who need a place to spout disgusting phrases. And there's plenty of that, don't get me wrong. Thanks, CSL. Because we're actually, we're very troll friendly around here. But that doesn't mean you get to come in and start rifling through the cabinets. You know what I mean? The cabinets were bare. We can't allow it. No, and it's not anything in particular. They're just kind of it's an ongoing thing. When I watch other people who also stream like I do on multiple platforms or that are primarily on Twitch, this is one of the recurring things I see in the people, both in the friendlies and the people who are supposedly our opponents in this situation. The alleged friendlies and the alleged opponents both engage in this same gross thing. Yeah, step away from the medicine cabinet. So it's just fascinating to me that the people allow that. Just let it run. I'll just talk about stuff. I'll do reaction videos. 8 hours I'll be online. And every nutcase who wants to roll through, thanks Gambit Mojo, who wants to roll through and just say something hateful or her, it'll stay up for a little while. But they have to pay to say it. Right? Yes, you can say butts a lot if you want to. But you have to pay to say it. I don't mind if you say something rude. Just, at least give some bits if you're going to do it, for Christ's sake. I'm just not going to air it for the rest of the world to see. You just have to, it lives and dies in the chat. I'm sorry. It's a community. So, anyways, thank you. We're at level 3 hype train already, and because I feel seen by the lovely folks over on Twitch. Now, bless you YouTubers as well. I'm checking in on you right now. Also, we're at 28,100. We cleared that soundly. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube if this is how you consume your vidgets. Your vidgets. Your video idiots. Your vidgets. Okay. So, okay. This, how I tell you sometimes just the visual makes me laugh. He looks like he's trying to karate chop a bee. He's like, there's a bee in his office, and he's. Oh, thank you. I went to the gym today. Been working on my shoulders. That's the big thing. Yeah, high karate. That's right. He smells like high karate. I know karate. The karate skid. So this is about a piece of information that right-wing websites have been cutting a piece of what the CDC director said about people. Well, I don't want to clarify it too much because I know what it's about just because it's all over the place. Like, I can tell by the title. CDC finally admitted what we've known all along. Like, this is going to be, I know what it's about because he tweeted about this. Like, everybody, Twitter. Yeah, that site he's still on. His dad isn't, but he's still on. But they kick off conservatives and nobody's you can't say what you want to say, but he's still on there. Anyways, the town crier when it comes to your show. Oh, well, thank you, Cher Stone. I appreciate that. Cherie? Is it Cherie Stone? It is for me. Thanks, Pamela. A teething 6-month. Oh, kiddo. Poor baby. You'd cry a lot too if your teeth were pushing through flesh inside your own head. It's a lot. We've forgotten, thank goodness. Otherwise, we'd be cranky constantly. I think maybe some people do remember teething, and that's why they're annoying in traffic. Anyways, no information as to whether Junior is waxing on or waxing off right now. I'm guessing he ditched paint defense side to side. Big suckle. God damn, I love that movie. Now I gotta go watch it again. And Pat Morita, we miss you and we love you. And the scene where he's drunk and he talks about the death of his wife and his baby. Ugh. So good. When the acting exceeds the environment. Okay, let's listen to what Junior thinks he's got right. There'll be an ad for it. All right. Yeah, I know. Crickly crackly.
Kind of big news, okay? Kind of big news. Now, guys, this is kind of big news, okay? Kind of big news. Now, we all knew this was...
got a big news. I got some new eye drops, and I've been consuming a lot more cheese than usual.
Probably the case. But it seems they're only releasing it now, and this is direct information from the CDC, okay? So apparently they're...
Already reading. 11 fucking seconds in. Dude can't do shit. Guys, apparently, what was the note I got from the Heritage Foundation and Saving America PAC, so they pay me $500 and whatever ad rev I can get off my Rumbles? Fucking hell. Look at that. Love me, Papa. Love me. Papa, love me.
In 836,000 deaths in America, COVID deaths. According to the CDC, 75% of them, okay, so of 836, 75% is about...
Are we going to have a math problem? We're going to have a math problem, aren't we? Okay, here we go.
627,000 were with people who had 4 or more comorbidities. As they said, at least.
Oh, okay, little buddy, fuck you. Is that what she said? That 680,000 people had 4 or more comorbidities? And by the way, let's put aside for a second, he's fucking wrong. But let's put aside for a second that he somehow thinks that those people deserve to go anyways, right? It was the tipping point. You know what I mean? You can't make an omelet without breaking some grandmas.
For comorbidities, 75%.
He's even reading it. Look at him reading it. So he thinks it's a fact. He thinks he's discovered a fact. Somebody sent him he put his little Post-its on his fucking second monitor. By the way, can we take a little tour of the office for a moment while all this shit is happening before we jump into how dumb he is? Okay, first of all, zero fucking change in the office pile of work. Months. And this son of a bitch hasn't touched any of this stuff. Doesn't have his assistant come in, rearrange his papers, make sure all the projects are in order so he can reference it, puts all the loose paper back in there. Nothing. I'm surprised the shelf hasn't collapsed too. But it's glass, so it's there, whatever. His father's bobblehead back here in the corner, unless that's Eric actual size across the street, which is a possibility. And then a fencing sword? Is that what this is? Or is that just like a golf club with a guard on it to make sure that you don't accidentally insert it so far in your rectum you can't get it out? Also, very old newspaper articles. Like, I understand collecting those things. You get some wins, put them on the board. I got some cool ones. I got some that are 20 years old, and that's what makes them special. But this is when there aren't gonna be any new articles that you're gonna want to frame anyways. And by the way, no, his beard is not gray right here. That is cocaine. That is just he gets so blasted, he just lays his chin in the pile and goes. I just love that this pile of shit going on over here never changes. Never. But breaking news. Okay, sorry. 75% of the people who died of COVID, according to this idiot, had four or more comorbidities.
At least 4 comorbidities.
And I don't know why the air quotes. At least 4 more quotes. But like nobody knows why you're air quoting. Unless that you're quoting them, in which case that's not air quotes. You say, quote, 4 or more. You don't do air quotes because air quotes are fake quotes. Whatever you're saying in the context of the air quotes, you are being you are sarcastically quoting or paraphrasing. He's dumb. I don't know why I bother.
It is.
The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in people who had at least 4 comorbidities.
Oh, right. That's what this is from. This is I have this one. Hold on. Because the RNC War Room put this up. So maybe we've just, maybe we've just discovered who sends Junior his marching orders. Yeah, hold on. Let's shit. I had this one up here. Hold on. Or did I have it on my iPad? Something like that. It'll be on here. Give me 1 second, because I know I just saw this. This is good. By the way, the freeze frame on YouTube right now of me talking about him while we're both going, is kind of hilarious. Let's see. Library. Yeah, here it is. This is
The over.
So this is the clip of her saying this. This is 22 seconds of what she's talking about. Biden's easier. 75% of COVID deaths were unwell people with 4 comorbidities. No, she's talking. Well, I want to save it. I don't want to bury it. Well, she's talking about vaccinated people who have died.
So really, these are people who were unwell to begin with.
They were, quote, unwell to begin with.
Stick to the notes, though, buddy. Stick to the notes. I'm sorry. I don't want to blow it for everybody. This gets so dumb so quick.
Think about what they've been showing. Think about
what they've been showing. Yeah. Encouraging people to get vaccinated, because the encouraging sign is that people who are vaccinated don't die from it. Didn't die of Delta. Not going to die from Omicron. No Deltacron. No Oma Delta. Nope.
They've been telling us for 2 years.
Well, who's they? I mean, your dad ran the place for the half of that time. And also, there's a weird video that's, I think, unrelated to this, unless he brings it up, where they ask her how many people died of COVID or with COVID, that thing, and she doesn't have the numbers, largely because of the Trump years. Numbers are so opaque and shitty that they didn't keep track.
Now we find out 75% of deaths were with at least 4 comorbidities, with at least 4 things that will probably kill you. Now they tell.
So I that's why your dad was in such bad shape, and if he hadn't had the greatest medical care in our country at Walter Reed, he would have died.
I wonder why we're finding out about it so late. By the way, of the remaining 25%, how many were people with, say, 1 comorbidity, like terminal cancer? One that's really just bad, right? If 75% had at least 4 different ones, an individual with 4 different...
Yes, no one healthy has ever died of COVID. Of the 25%, I mean, his numbers are jacked, and we'll talk about that in a second. It's such an easy fix. Like, this is such a rake. It's like watching a man stomp toward a rake, going, bring it, rake.
Things that will probably kill you in the end, where you're unwell to begin.
Like the golf butt plug over in the corner?
How many had one that were just going to do it? How many were killed by buses that happened to have COVID that were perfectly healthy, would have been fine? How many fell off a motorcycle?
None.
I'd like to know the answer to this, because it seems like they're trying to rewrite the narrative. It seems like they're trying to say...
Yeah, they're trying to say there's something different between year 1 and year 2 in the volume of people who've been vaccinated. I'm telling it ahead. All right.
We can blame all of the CNN death counter, right? We'll blame it on Trump. But now that Joe Biden has performed significantly worse, now that he's had many more deaths than Trump ever had...
Oh, by the way, the many more deaths, quote unquote, all red districts, all unvaccinated, like 98%. And again, we'll get to that 2%. We'll get to that 2. This is so sweet. It's like watching, speaking of a man about to be hit by a bus, it's like I'm watching it come down the street and I'm sitting there going, do you tell him? Yes. How many people have died with a golf club shoved up their ass and also had the sniffles?
Now that it's clear that the Democrats and he have no control over what's going on, their incompetency and their lies are showing, their campaign promises are flailing and failing, now they're going to rewrite history. Now they're going to revive.
Now I'm gonna eventually try to find out a way to move my voice from my nose, where all the cocaine is, back down into my actual throat like a grown man.
Is the way and say, oh, it's clear Joe Biden couldn't do anything about it because the things that they have done have failed.
Yes, because of all the Republicans that are, yes, dying of COVID to own the libs. I'll show Joe Biden. I'll mess with your numbers. How? I'm not going to get vaccinated and die of an easily preventable illness. Brilliant. You sound like a Trump voter. These sound like the kind of solutions you would come up with if you were like, Trump's my dude.
Whether it be the mandates, whether it's the stuff that they're pushing now as it relates to you must get whatever to be able to
Check your notes. You must get whatever. What do you got to get? If you're gonna quote, I mean, get tested once a week, because that's what the actual test is. That's what the actual mandate is.
The spread, that seems to be failing. The entire narrative is shutting down. I won't get into the details of it because I'll get fact-checked.
Because you don't know them, because I'll get fact-checked and everybody will call me and ask, oh, hang on to that thought, dum-dum.
Whatever it is, but we're all watching this. Trust me when I tell you, I knew doctors. They knew these things in 2020. Remember, we heard the term comorbidity probably for the first time for many people because they knew.
Oh, no. I mean, ask your dad.
The elderly and those with comorbidities, pre-existing conditions, as they called it, right? Those were the people most affected because, of course, they were. And I had doctors that told me, well, listen, if guy got hit by a bus, it was a COVID test if he had COVID, and we were just told to shut up and do it. But now they're trying to unwind that to save Joe and the Democrats who failed at just about.
Yeah, there's been such a rise in bus deaths that just, statistically, magically, those people also had COVID. That it's just weighing down their numbers.
Everything. Their narrative is.
It was never a big deal. Understand what we're hearing from this gentleman. COVID was never a big deal. Anybody who dies from it is probably going to die of something else. But also, Biden's handling it worse because more people have died from it during his year in office because it started. He has a whole year in office where it started, 3.5 months and the death rate started spiking up during Trump's administration. So Trump got a 4-month reprieve year to year. And then, that's basically it.
They're trampling our rights. They're more than willing to crush your freedoms. Their institution, as far as I'm concerned, unconstitutional mandates. Again, I have to caveat so as not to get canceled, but watch.
You won't get canceled for being dumb, or it had happened a long time ago.
What's going on, guys? 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities.
Which is fucking amazing. What are the odds? 4 comorbidities. What? Being over 75? Is that he's going to count one? Never mind. He's talking out of his ass. Give me a minute.
How many had 3 comorbidities? How many 2? How many 1 that was just going to probably kill him pretty quickly in the end? Close to all? I want to know how many truly healthy individuals, meaning that had a comorbidity, but we didn't maybe know about it, or they didn't perhaps know about it. How many healthy individuals, truly healthy individuals, actually died? Because that's probably the more interesting stat as we adjust.
Well, we actually kind of know that. Because while we don't know, as far as the people, the number of vaccinated people who have died who would be truly healthy, meaning that they can fight off this particular disease, even if they have comorbidities, a lot of them have lived, they, survived where they wouldn't have otherwise. And then there were some that had, well, we'll get to that.
Our entire lives, as we've destroyed our economies, as we take on draconian.
Yes, we've destroyed our economy. We'll get to that next. Should we get to the destroyed economy next? Can I do a video on the destroyed economy? Please? Right after this one? Okay.
That would limit our freedoms forever. I want to know that answer because we need that answer to be able to truly understand what's going on, to truly be able to make a decision.
He's reading again. to truly understand what's going on. That's the phrase that was written on the Post-it. Fucking hell. Oh, God.
Because they can't even tell us how many deaths of the 836,000 are deaths from COVID versus...
Right. See, remember what I told you about the largely because of record keeping by the Trump administration. They're getting that, though. They're compiling it now. But
just people with COVID. The CDC...
Yeah. By the way, if you had 20% of some other disease and 80% of COVID was what killed you, he doesn't think that should count. You would have lived with your stupid comorbidity that he has no respect for you having, and fuck you, you broke son of a bitch, and your ongoing chronic illness. Why couldn't you just have died earlier so you didn't tank his dad's poll numbers?
Director could not tell us that this weekend, and I think we deserve to know. Don't you?
Don't you?
Guys, this is kind
of... guys. All right. First of all, this is the clip he used with her saying this part. And it starts right here. Where does it start? Listen to where it starts.
The overwhelming number of deaths, over 75%, occurred in...
75% of what? Over 75% of what? COVID deaths? Overall? That one right there is where, and this is where, here's Don Jr. 75%, guys, COVID deaths were people with at least 4 COVID, how many, that's it, that's the tweet, done. Guys, 75% of COVID deaths. That's it, that's the tweet, right? Here's Clay Travis. CDC director said 75% of COVID deaths occurred in people with at least 4 comorbidities. Since Biden can't shut down the COVID, suddenly all this data is getting shared publicly. The veil has been lifted. The deep state is found out. Yeah. Go see it. You're onto this. Hold on. Frank Luntz, who's the notorious liberal. Walensky wasn't talking about all COVID deaths. She was talking about COVID deaths. Oh, back up. I clicked on it. She was talking about COVID deaths among the vaccinated. Wait till you get to these numbers. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Out of 1.2 million vaccinated people tracked in the study, 36 ended up getting sick with COVID and dying at a 0.003% fatality rate. And 75% of those 36 people had 4 comorbidities. God damn, these people are dumb. $1.2 million people who are vaccinated, only 36 ended up getting sick and dying from COVID. 36. 1.2 million. 36. And 75% of 36 people had 4 comorbidities. Fucking hell. I mean, this is why you tap the brakes when a story looks too good to be true. I mean, people, folks, they got shit. You know, some stories just got fish hooks in them. And if you're the smart fish, you'll survive. 36 out of 1.2 million is what now? 0.003%. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. Can we get... Guys, math is hard, guys. Here's Hot Air referencing it. No, the CDC did not say, chief did not say 75% of all COVID. This is the whole fucking clip on it. This clip, suspiciously short of context, you don't say. The one that the fucking, where are they? Yeah, this one. This is the clip This is the GOP War Room put this out. And lied to, here's the other thing. President Joe Biden's CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said 75% of COVID deaths were in unwell people with 4 comorbidities during a segment on ABC's Good Morning with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, Michael Strahan, Amy Robach, Laura Spencer, Ginger Z on 1-7. Be sure to like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. The biggest damage done by the RNC's war room in this is to their own saps out there spreading their message. All they did was just walk out and toss a bunch of fucking rakes in the yard. Because by cutting this context about vaccinated people, not people in general, vaccinated people, not the 864,000 dead people in America, 36 of the people who have died who were vaccinated and had COVID, of those 36 people, 75% of those people had 4 comorbidities or more. 0.003%. Fucking hell, this is so dumb. This is so... Guys, made a mistake. I got some bad blow. Advice. Can we just stew on this one just for a moment? Can we just go like, enjoy the beauty of just how fucking stupid Don Jr. is. Just, because it'd be one thing if he was pulling shit out of the air and he got that information from someplace else, but he played the clip. He showed a piece of this. This is where he got it from. This is who told him to put this video out on Rumble, or paid him, or he got his... Seriously, I feel like he's turtling right now. This is just so... How easy. It's just... Some days you just kind of... Some days it's work, and some days it's just like... I feel like I don't want to let you guys down. I got a lot of their clips, because this feels like a bunt. This is not hard. This is like... It's like if we were all playing softball in elementary school... and Don Jr. intellectually came to plate, everybody go, move in, easy out. We caught him mid-fart. This is it, yeah, there we go. Really. Yes, 27 people. 27 of the 36 had 4 comorbidities or more. I guess the other ones were hit by a bus. There you go. You happy? Oh, gosh. It's just so good. It's so good. He was credit him for avoiding, he's prairie dogging. He's, happily avoiding work in his office. It's 4 minutes he could have spent on that stack of fucking paper right there. Oh, God. Yeah. All right. So that we needed to do this right out of the gate. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome to Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. This is so... Some days I feel like it just gets easier and easier. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's just like the stack up of how much dumb. Okay. All right. We now know from texts that have come out and other stuff. Hold on. I got to stretch this out. That Maria Bartiromo and Judge Jeanine were both fighting over Trump being on their shows. And it was like this pissing contest at Fox News. Bartiromo is the person who tipped up the big lie at Fox News more than anybody else. She had Trump on and let him run with it. They had to air the apology to Dominion during her show as part of the the settlement where they wouldn't go all in on Fox News. They'll agree to call a truce and knock it off. And then it's like, we were bullshitting you about the whole Dominion thing. They could have aired it anywhere. It ended up on her fucking show, her mornings show. Now this is just, you can just tell from the title of this one. Right down here. This is going to be, oh God. This is, oh God. You could just, last week, America becomes the biggest liquid natural gas exporter on the planet. And this week, JP Morgan's dude is on Fox Business telling Maria Bartiromo that the economy's good. Oh, let's see. And by the way, the fact that this little thing is green and going up during the conversation must be very difficult. This has got to be rough. Oh boy, she's strictly a pill person. Is that what the idea? I think Janine's the box wine, and she's still using the key performance enhancers of Wall Street mid-'80s. Let's say. All right. Let's see what he says.
Business on Wall Street, stocks selling off yesterday as investors reprice equities ahead of the Fed's transition from easy money policies to tightening policies. There's
by the way, can I remind you that the whole Biden's just printing money. We're printing money. It's printing money all the time. They're printing money. And the Fed's now under its own directive and with the blessing of the Biden administration without it kind of screaming at Powell to give us negative interest rates. Remember negative interest rates? Remember Trump wanting negative interest rates and screaming at Powell that he was going to raise interest rates and fuck up his whole bullshit economy that was based largely on rising stock prices, because where are you going to put your money? Savings aren't going to do anything if there's no interest rate on fucking anything. So stocks it is. And you'll make the stock market go down. It always goes down a little bit when you do that kind of shit. Doesn't mean it's bad for the economy. People just go, oh, I'll take some of that money. I'll put it in bonds since there's actually a yield and it's safer. So I can diversify. So if a crash happens on the fucking stock market, I'm not completely wiped out. God forbid. Just sensible adult shit is just poisonous to these people.
Of course, questions about the impact of Omicron and inflation on earnings. I interviewed JP Morgan Chairman and CEO Jamie Dimon in the middle of all the volatility yesterday and got his views on the backdrop and what's ahead for the year.
She seems very excited about what he's about to say.
I think the way to really look at it is, first, look at the economy and then the markets. The economy, the consumer's in great shape. Obviously, there's some folks still suffering out there, but they've got a lot of money. They're spending 25% more than they did pre-COVID. Their balance sheet's in great shape. The debt service ratio's better than it's been in 50 years, literally. Home prices are up. Stock prices are up. Businesses equally are doing quite well. They got plenty of money and plenty of confidence. So that.
Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face. She looked like she was looking for some. Please let me type on something and look up something that will contradict this. Please continue.
Economy's growing. The numbers are herky-jerky because coming out of the pandemic, it just caused a lot of uncertainty about people rejoining the workforce, the return to the office, and inflation numbers and all that.
Reality. Yeah, did her hair just sag? Is it?
Economy strong. I think the expectation should be we need a strong economy to justify asset prices. And obviously, when interest rates go up, people are going to reprice assets a little bit. So I just would expect that you're going to have a lot of volatility in the market this year. But you're going to probably have a pretty strong economy, which is maybe more important for most Americans.
Right. Yeah. Oh, God forbid. Look. Oh, look at this. Look at the beauty of this. Do you understand? Oh, she's volatility in the market, which is bad for swing traders who can't game the fucking system and make money not investing in companies, which is the fucked up part. Hi, Johnny Bravo, you prick. And meanwhile, he's but in the real world economy, it's actually going to be pretty great for people. It's going to continue to get better. And she's like, motherfucker. You mean it's going to be like the stock market's going to be, and by the way, volatility means a rise like this as opposed to a rise like this. It's the same fucking rise.
I'm glad you mentioned the macro story because you have an incredible vantage point on the consumer, looking at your credit card statistics. I want to get into that. But we saw 199,000 jobs created in the month of December. That was about half of what people were expecting.
Yeah, but 800,000 people went back to jobs they had before that weren't there anymore. That was 1 million fucking jobs in December.
The conversation is about inflation right now. The Federal Reserve expected to raise interest rates. How do you assess the economy playing out in 2022 and beyond, given all of that?
I think people are over-focused on monthly numbers, which are distorted by a million different things, and that I think that the table is set for.
Jamie, that's not what she wants to hear. That is not what she wants to hear. What she wants to. That's not what she wants to hear. She wants to hear this is terrible. It's going to go down. Not that, yeah, there's a lot of waffling back and forth in the markets and all kinds of stuff. And just in supply chains and the availability of workers, blah, blah, because of reality, because of COVID, and because of other countries dealing with it differently than we do. And she doesn't want to hear that shit. She needs you to say, this is all Biden's fault. Repeat after me. This is all Biden's fault.
Economy. That consumer has a lot of money and business have a lot of money. They're spending it. Confidence levels are going up. Jobs are plentiful. Wages are going up. I mean, it's pretty strong. This will be one of the strongest economies we've ever seen in 2021. And 2022 will probably be pretty good, too. And obviously, the fly in the ointment is inflation. And, no one knows exactly how it's going to turn out. I've always thought it wasn't just transitory, or at least people wouldn't feel it was transitory by the end of the year. And, some people think it's embedded in the market. It's going to go down to 2.3% by the end of the year. I think it'll be a little bit higher. But, look, if we're lucky, the Fed will engineer that so-called soft landing and raise rates, facing a strong economy and employment coming down.
She's taking her glasses off. Like, at this point, she's going to fucking just walk off set. Look at her face. Look at this. This is, by the way, why they have this on the Fox Business channel and not on actual Fox, like on the main channel. Yeah, Jamie, this is Fox, not CNN. Dude, quit it.
There's a chance they're going to do it faster than people think. And we just don't exactly know. I mean, no one knows the future. And if you look at anyone's forecast, I mean, they almost never get the inflection points right. So, but I also go back and you look at in March of 2020, we were on our way to 15% unemployment. It could have been 20% unemployment. COVID was killing a lot of people. You remember being in New York City, how terrible it was. And we didn't have a vaccine. So let's count our blessings still. And, we're still getting through this thing. And hopefully Omicron may, we don't know about the future variants either, but hopefully Omicron may be the final one that makes this endemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Can I, it's just, yeah. Just like there is no way to turn this shit around for her. This is, and we've seen a couple of these interviews. She's done a couple of these interviews where she's like, motherfucker. And no matter what she does, she cannot wrench it back to America is fucked. Which is absolutely what she needs. They cannot have another Clinton surplus, in the Biden years coming up. Because I guarantee that by the time Biden's running again, one of the things they're going to be running on is a surplus. One of the things they're going to run on is that, but if we stay on track and the Biden administration continues what they're doing, we're going to end up with a surplus like Clinton had at the end of the 90s. That I guarantee it. Unless there's an asteroid, right? And we have to spend all our money knocking it out of the way. And that cannot happen. Trump has to be the best thing that ever happened to the country. This is a nightmare. How is it that he screwed the pooch so thoroughly? Lulu girl, thank you. This is so fun. And this is, by the way, increasingly what her show is like. She'll bring on right-wingers to bitch about the administration and that kind of stuff. But when she brings on actual financial experts on a myriad different fields, they're like, yeah, it's good. No, it was bad. I mean, obviously, we got some work to do, and people have different priorities. But as it goes, pretty fucking kick ass. Honestly, I'm staring down the barrel of like 80s money. This is crazy. Like she's like, shut the fuck next. Oh, it's so good. It's just so good, right? Don't look up. Yes, right. She's gonna come out and start selling gold, right? But pretty rocks. But pretty rocks. But it's doing terrible things to the price of pretty rocks. Why was Marianne Williamson on Fox News so weird? It wasn't that she was on Fox News, Sharon. We covered that yesterday. It was that she was on Jesse Waters' show. Like, if you're going to go on, I get it, because they're a big network and you can sell some books and get your face out there and you can debate some of these people, but be on the bigger shows. I'm not like fucking Waters. At least go on Gutfeld or something. He's actually got numbers. Which is a big... Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just brutal. This is so good. Thanks, Francie. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for the bits. Dawn and Sweet Mel, thank you. And thank you, Lulu Girl. Again, thank you, Cover Me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the show around. Oh, God, it's just so fun. All right, now... where do we go first? Okay. Let's just go on. Since we're riding the dumb train, let's just stay on it. Shall we? Hold on. I feel out of place in this situation. Yeah, all right. Hey, come on. Now let's do this. Come on, man. This'll be fantastic. I'm very excited about the whole thing. Dan Bonglino, Dan Bongo Head. What's your name, boy? Dan Bongdino. Ding Dong Dino. Dino. Is that what your name is? Say it. Say it out loud. Come on. Now, the name of this clip is You Must Understand Why the Left Will Never Let You Live in Peace. They're always at war. You'll never be left alone. They're always gonna come for you. The left with their pussy hats and their half-dyed blue hair and their Billie Eilish signed concert programs and their ideas about gender and ideas about whether or not penises are important and testosterone and things like that. I can't turn my head. It only does it a little bit. Come on now. Let's hear what he has to say. Dan Bongino. The left will never let you live in peace.
All right. I saved the most important story for last, and I probably...
Oh, well, I'm glad we hung around. All right. I'm just going to do this normal until something else comes in.
Should have got to it first, but there's so much to talk about. I wanted to make sure I'm not constricted on time on this, right? Because I had to get through the...
Yeah. You don't want to lose the thread and wander off in anywhere. You've only got 6 minutes and 22 seconds, and it's a super important story. So whatever it is.
Michael Anton is back. We're going to try and get him on the radio show this week.
Yes, but when you have Anton Fig, the drummer for Late Night, who was also in Ace Frehley's band, Frehley's Comet, then I'll be interested. Otherwise, I don't care.
Michael Anton is one of my favorite writers out there. He writes at The American Mind. It's a piece he put out on January 4th, not that long ago.
He's one of my favorite writers. And I don't know why I went to books. And of course, he blogs.
He needs you to read.
I love this guy because he uses small words and lots of them.
The newsletter is loaded today. It's called Blue America's Messaging Problem, and it's something we've discussed often on the show.
Uh-huh.
Folks, there's this phenomenon developing right now where the left is growing more and more aggressive, more and more violent in many cases.
Yeah, if you don't watch out, we might gather on the lawn in front of the White House, storm the Capitol, take a shit everywhere, and yell, "Hang Kamala Harris." We're this close. I mean, we just barely made it past this January 6th. Tag team insurrections. My turn, my turn. Yeah, just we're getting horribly violent.
And no matter how many times we encourage on our side nonviolence and a peaceful resolution.
Oh, Dan Bongino, who is looking for TP for his bunghole. Somebody asked for that.
To the country's just massive political problems. The left will continue to accuse us of fomenting a civil war, despite in many cases the left directly calling for violence, as I pointed out with the Democracy Integrity Project.
Uh-huh. Oh, you mean Maxine Waters saying get up in people's faces in restaurants and tell them they're not welcome? That kind of violence? Or the beat a cop with a Blue Lives Matter flagpole kind of violence? I mean, it's a 6 of one, half dozen of half dum-dum of another, right, idiot?
Anton points out this disparity in messaging in his new piece called Blue America's Messaging Problem, where the left gets increasingly violent and aggressive with their rhetoric on us, and any attempt to expose their violent and aggressive rhetoric as potentially...
Especially from the blue perspective, why not just let the baddies go, if not in a national divorce, then at least through radical federalism? Blues have especially hard time answering this one. It's not obvious why anyone would insist on living forever with people she vehemently insists are despicable, are born redeemingly rapacious, racist, oppressive, kind of... Yeah, you're talking... Oh, I see. This asshole apparently thinks that when you address the extremists in a group or the extremists in a party as if they're the sum total of thought in that party, that the party, the sum total, the people that you are addressing, they're the ones with the messaging problem because you're taking the extremists and making it look like they're the norm. Meanwhile, these assholes are taking the January 6th insurrectionists and cloaking them, in their love and comfort forever.
Instigating a real fracture in the United States that could turn ugly. They point to us as fomenting violence. This is what they do. It's the one.
Well, you did though. See when Biden was campaigning, they asked him about riots versus protests, and he says protests are valuable. If you break the law, you go to jail. If you burn, setting stuff on fire and stealing stuff is wrong. It's against the law. And when Trump's fans stormed the Capitol and were yelling to hang his vice president, he was watching TV and fondling himself.
We talked about in the beginning of the show. It's a massive gaslighting effort. We will attack them, the left is saying. We will attack conservatives relentlessly. We will
verbally, with criticism and words. Please continue.
Them wherever they go, we will take their civil liberties away. We will attack their states like Florida, and anything they do to fight back, they will say, quote, "How dare you? You're an insurrectionist. You're fomenting civil war."
I'm sorry. Did I miss, guys, did I miss the attack on Florida? Were we supposed to do a big liberal attack on Florida? I mean, I know we've been calling out Captain Wheezy, Death Santis, over his policies and his inability to breathe, and Matt Gaetz, for example, for sex trafficking a 17-year-old and doping other girls up to have sex with him, allegedly, according to Joel Greenberg, his running buddy who made fake IDs. Hey, you can say you thought they were 18. I just made these. So by shitting on those people, calling that out, we're attacking Florida. Meanwhile, and then how much are you going to take of that, right, Bongino, before you got to attack the United States Capitol violently and physically? The fuck?
Here's a quote from Anton's piece about how this messaging problem can't possibly continue. It's now becoming transparently obvious that the left, the radical left, not all, but the radical left are two things.
Yeah. And your problem is that you're taking, quote unquote, the radical left's messaging and layering it all over everyone else.
And unquestionably two things: extremely aggressive and definitely racist with their CRT nonsense. They can't. The message problem can't. Let me just read this from the answer.
Hey, look, Dan Bongino and I agree on something. CRT is racist. Look at that. See? A bridge is built. I must not be in the radical side of things.
He's very good. He says, from the blues perspective, why not just
tell you what, slow down, back up. Try this. Try jaw, tongue, lips in that order when speaking. The words come out easier.
baddies go? Why not just let us go, right? If not in a national divorce, then at least through radical federalism, where the federal government shrinks and the states do their thing. In other words,
well, yeah. Why doesn't the radical left just let Republicans go by letting them take over large chunks of the country? And apparently he wants, quote unquote, big government Democrats to get what they want by letting the Republicans go, by shrinking the federal government so small that the states are effectively sovereign entities beyond, like, even European countries. Oh, God. What do they think of the radical left? He's playing footsie right now, say what? Most of the time, it's everybody.
Saying in the opening paragraph, the obvious, if the left hates us so much, and even though they're racist, they claim we're racist, and even though they're super violent and aggressive, they claim we're violent and aggressive, then why not just let us go and live on your own? He says blues, he calls them, have an especially hard time answering this one. It's not obvious.
Well, no, it's pretty easy. You're painting, riots around racial injustice in particular, on all Democrats for one, and saying the protests and the riots are the same thing, and the people who called for rioting are the same as people who called for protesting, and vice versa. And you're also making the case that Democrats don't do anything about that to mitigate these kind of things, like the Obama administration putting the COPS program in place so that police officers that cross the line or are violent or racist or whatever are easier broomed from police departments, and given that so that you can have a more trusted police force in the country. And Trump dismantled that. Racist against white people? No, racist against people of color. CRT is racist against people of color. It's insane. It's insane. It's like, just read any of it. It's crazy. And by the way, what he thinks is CRT most of the time is just diversity training, because you got to get people who don't normally get along to get along. That's something we should all strive for.
Why anyone would insist on living forever with people they vehemently insist are despicable, are born irredeemably rapacious, racist, and oppressive, and can never reform. Yet nothing more quickly drives a blue to mouth-frothing rage than the mere suggestion that the two sides of the partisan divide try to put some distance between one another. They say, "How dare you?" they shriek. "You're an insurrectionist. You are fomenting civil war."
Is that what we do? Has that been our reaction? There's a good deal of people in my chat right now. Are we up in the 1,000 yet? Are we at how big are we? We passed 666 at this point, right? I think so. We got good numbers today. Do you guys foam at the mouth when they talk about, like, Texas secession? How about we just peel off from everybody else? Sure, have fun being consumed by Mexican cartels because you won't have the United States government protecting you. Oh, God. Yeah. 1,007. Yeah, we passed 1,000. 1,075. Thanks, everybody, for being here today, and I love you guys for being here. Do you guys froth at the mouth, or do you just laugh and go, yeah, it's a dumb fucking idea? Straighten up. Wait, wasn't Eric Trump frothing at the mouth yesterday or some shit? Right? Now, hold on. Is that where they're touchy about frothing at the mouth? Right? Hold on. I have to find this now. Shit. There we go. Let's see. I'm fairly certain, right? Wasn't he like flipping out on Fox News, and then he was just like slobbery. Where's the full interview? It's got to be. I want the whole, like, a longer segment. I'll find it. That's just the Letitia James show. Hold on. Now I've got to look it up. Now it's going to bug me. Let's see. Eric Trump on Hannity. Let's see. Yeah, this is.
For example, in New York.
Here's Trump, and by the way, whatever version of theater mode, whatever version of Trump derangement syndrome we're allegedly supposed to have, most of us would just never, like, Trump derangement syndrome would mean that we want him around as sort of some sort of punching bag forever. We're very happy with the idea that he just kind of shoes. How you can also make a case that at the time that everyone who was at the Capitol 6 were erectionists versus just a small group of assholes that were there. You're going to, no, I do not. I don't make the case all the time that everybody that was at the Capitol was an insurrectionist. The people who never went up the stairs or attacked a cop wouldn't qualify. I mean, there was a support structure there because, again, the assholes who went through and carried violence were cushioned, and the possibility of getting in was made possible by the other people who were just like, I was just walking around. But the other people who stayed down at the bandstand, listened to Trump speak, were there for emotional support, were in D.C. They weren't insurrectionists. And I have no problem saying that anybody who crossed the police barricade to go up the steps is an insurrectionist. They were either involved in the violence or cradling the balls of those that were involved in the violence. And by the way, we do have some trolls in here today, and I want to thank you guys for showing up. We're a very troll-friendly show, and you've helped us grow our numbers like I can't even say. It's a beautiful thing. I'm reading from all the chats, Richard. And it crisscrosses through there. I don't dump it all in the Twitch thing because you guys don't need that, but I'll share it with you. We do have a bunch of stuff, mostly over in the professional trolls over on Facebook. But we appreciate you being here because you raise our CPM, you introduce us to wider swaths of the algorithm, and it helps us. So everything you type is helpful. So thanks, trolls. Thanks very much. And congrats on finding a job you're good at and getting a regular paycheck. I'd hate to be you with 5 laptops open to a bunch of different shows, going, boo. But hey, if that, it's a living, and, no harm, no foul. So anyways, this is Eric.
State. Listen to the state.
By the way, and the name of this, look at the name of this video. This is Hannity put this, Eric Trump. My father is in the driver's seat as the lead Republican, undoubtedly. All right.
Attorney General Letitia James is now doubling down on her endless investigation into the Trump businesses. So,
well, no, it won't. It's not endless. It'll end with an indictment and a conviction. I'm pretty sure that's how they most of them end that way.
His children as part of what?
Thanks,
years-long witch hunt. What did they find? Oh, they have a.
I don't know. What did they find? My text messages, dude. How is he? Is he wearing Trump orange just because Eric's on? Look at his face and look at his hands. What the fuck is happening there? That's amazing. Yeah, he just got a fresh batch of Trump orange and just... Dude, that looks like bile collected from a corpse of someone who OD'd on oranges. That's amazing. Hi, Orange. That's amazing.
Company car, and they gave a scholarship and a company apartment, like every other company in New York. But James is no objective prosecutor and has no interest, apparently, in equal justice.
No.
How do we know? Listen to her in her own words while she was campaigning for the job.
We'll never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake. I believe that the president of these United States can be indicted for criminal offenses.
Please sue him for us. Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the He's going to know my name personally.
Here with reaction to all the big news.
Yeah, that's yeah. You ever heard somebody talk about? You ever heard a cop talk about a fugitive? Anybody? Anybody watch one of those? You watch true crime shows? You ever see somebody like somebody who got away or skated on a particular charge when they were totally fucking guilty, and then the cop that was after him knew they were going to charge him with another crime, and then the person got away, and they're like, "We're gonna find him. We're gonna find this piece of shit. He knows my name. He knows I'm looking for him. He knows all like that kind of stuff." My cousin's a U.S. Marshal, and he's caught some long running fugitives who've done some horrible shit. And there's a guy who he's been after Lester Eubanks for quite some time. If Lester Eubanks is alive, he knows my cousin's name. Guaranteed. And that's how you talk. Because the dude's a fucking criminal. Lester Eubanks is a murderer. He sexually assaulted and murdered a 15-year-old black girl. He's black himself, but his victim was black. Shot her, came back because he wasn't sure she was dead, caved her head in with a cement block, was convicted, and was serving out his time, had his death sentence commuted in Ohio. When they stopped doing the death sentence, he was allowed to go Christmas shopping because he was good. He exhibited good behavior. So he was allowed to buy Christmas gifts for family members for 2 hours unsupervised. No surprise, he never came back. Big fucking surprise. And they've been looking at him since the friggin' 70s. Horrible man. And when you're aware of somebody like that is that horrible and that is free out somewhere, the language you use to talk about them is more incendiary even than you would talk about someone who is, say, just your political rival. Yeah. I'll hold on one second. Break this out here real quick. Drag this over here, if I may. Hold this over here. I've talked about this dude a few times. This is Lester Eubanks. They've aged the picture. This is when he was young. His victim was a 15-year-old girl, and there's no way he hasn't reoffended. Because he'd been guilty. He'd been charged with other sexual assaults. This one he just moved up to murder, and then they let him go Christmas shopping, and off he went. This is what they think he looks like now. He's on the 15 most wanted. Like, the way you talk about somebody like that is not pretty. Yeah, cops hate criminals. It's not political. She's a DA going after a dude who's a scam artist. That's why she didn't hate him.
Eric Trump is with us. When you have a position as
and he's not doing well these days. Eric is having to sit down for some interviews.
Powerful as an attorney general. And they say that they're going to target a family.
A crime family. A criminal family. And by the way, can we... hold on. Fuck, do I have to stop every fucking time? Okay, Hannity. Target a family, huh? Why would they target? Sean Hannity suggests Joe Biden is at the top of a crime family that includes Nancy Pelosi and CNN. A family. It's a family. It's a family affair. It's all about family. Like Fast and the Furious. It's fuck up and farty. Fast and Furious 2.
Doesn't that create a situation that you need some type of recusal?
No. Yeah. What that? You know that accountant that wanted to go after Al Capone? Why didn't he recuse himself from accounting?
It does, and frankly, Sean, that's why we sued her last week. It's exactly that. I mean, I've sat in this very chair talking.
Yeah. That's why, asshole. You guys sue everybody to try and avoid prosecution. It's your entire methodology, and it's worked until now. That's one of the reasons why she's going after you guys so hard, is because it's New York, and you've been able to dodge this shit forever.
While we were being spied on, the campaign was being spied on by the FBI, and during impeachment.
For the record, they were spying on foreign agents in the United States, and you fuckers wouldn't stop talking to them. I was being spied on while I talked to my drug dealer. That kind of thing. I was picked up illegally on a wiretap of who? Serial murderer. I was helping rent a car.
One, and during impeachment number 2, and as they weaponized every system against my father because they saw that he created the greatest movement in political history, and they.
Well, I don't think he's been on the receiving end of a National Endowments for the Art piece. I think the big fat butter statue and the Trump blimp, those were paid for with private funds.
Helped himself. I mean, now he's in the driver's seat again as the lead Republican, undoubtedly. They see that Joe Biden.
Well, unless you poll likely people running, and then doubtedly, because DeSantis is ahead.
Is effectively handing him the election in 2024 if my father wanted to run for it, and you have these prosecutors in New York.
If he wanted to run for it, all right. I'm not going to nitpick too much.
They hand it over to her, and you have Letitia James out there, probably the most unethical prosecutor in the history of the United States, who literally ran on the campaign. Sean, she said literally on video, and we have dozens of videos. But
all right, what's up with the Trump boys? Neither one of them uses their chest voice. These are grown men. Both of them are taller than I am. I think, right? They're both taller, right? I'm 5'9". They have to be. How the fuck? What is with this whole, how much cocaine is his nose collapsing? Good Lord.
I'm going to go into office every single day. I'm going to sue Trump, and then I'm going to go home. Meaning she ran on the campaign promise of sue
and was elected by the people of New York to do that very thing. Yeah, she ran on that, and the people of New York went, I like the cut of her jib.
My father, because she didn't believe in his political party, because she didn't like us, because
he didn't like how we stole money from cancer charities, showed up at charity events that we didn't actually give money for, and then counted it on our taxes, told the IRS that our buildings were worth shit, told loan companies our buildings were the most expensive buildings in the fucking city. You mean crimes?
The people in Washington, D.C. told her to do that. It violates the Constitution. It's unethical, it's wrong, and you don't need to take it from me. I mean, listen to the dozens of videos where I'm going to get him, I'm going to get his children, I'm going to take him down. He's going to know my...
Well, yeah, she's not going after Barron. She means you, fucko. I don't know where she would get the idea that somehow you were involved in some sort of chicanery. Mm-hmm. Why would here's something. Trump ordered to pay 8 different charities $250,000 each. The remaining $1.8 million in Trump Foundation bank account dispersed amongst charities. New York Attorney General Letitia James today released the following statement after Donald Trump was forced to pay more than $2 million in court-ordered damages to 8 different charities for illegally misusing charitable funds at the Trump Foundation for political purposes. Not only is the Trump Foundation shut down for its misconduct, But the president has been forced to pay $2 million for misusing charitable funds for his own political gain. Charities are not a means to an end, which is why these damages speak to the president's abuse of power and represent a victory for nonprofits that follow the law. Funds that have finally gone where they deserve, to 8 credible charities. My office will continue to fight for accountability because no one is above the law. Not a businessman, not a candidate for office, and not even the president of the United States. As a part of a resolution lawsuit announced on November 7th, Trump was ordered to pay $2 million to 8 separate charities. The Army Emergency Relief. Understand this. Maggots. Your favorite president, your favorite guy in the whole fucking world, had to be forced by Letitia James to give money to these charities. He had to be forced to give to the Army Emergency Relief Fund. He had to be forced to give money to the Children's Aid Society. He had to be forced to give City Meals on Wheels, the Give an Hour, to Martha's Table, the United Negro College Fund, which I'm sure was extra hard, the United Way of National Capital Area, and the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum. Trump was forced to reimburse his namesake foundation for $11,000, $525 for sports paraphernalia and champagne purchased at a charity gala for himself. Yeah. He wrote it off as charity stuff, money that should have gone to one of these charities. He just bought himself some booze and some sports equipment, which was added to the $1.7 million already in the foundation's bank account. The combined 1.8 was split evenly and recently transferred to 8 agreed upon charities. Each charity ended up receiving a total of $476,140. Why would Letitia James, after going through that whole case, I mean, that's not, they didn't just find that out and went, fuck it, make him write a check. They took him to court. The Trumps fought back. They showed up. They hired lawyers. They tried to get around it. They tried to get away, and they finally settled rather than continue fighting because they were going to lose. That's your guy. That's your fucking guy. And she looks at all that evidence, all the correspondence about it, all the stuff that makes it, legally binding, where the city can, get rid of their charity, just make them shut it down. They can't have one anymore. They can't be trusted to raise money for charity in New York anymore because they will spend it on themselves and to spackle holes in their business. Remember, this guy's a fucking billionaire, right? He's a multi-billionaire. Isn't he the guy? Isn't Eric Trump the son of a multi-billionaire? Isn't he the billionaire heir of the Trump billionaire fund? Isn't he that? And he's going to fucking steal $2 million from charities? What the fuck for? That's even low in the money that if you found out all he gave to charity was $2 million over the course of the time in that foundation that existed, you'd be like, what? He's a multi-billionaire? Dude gives $2 million away? It's pitiful. It's embarrassing. And you dig this dude? And then she's looking into all the filings they made and all the ways they shuffled the money around to try and hide the fact that they weren't giving it to charity, that they were paying their own fucking bills with it or buying themselves toys or booze. She's seen all that shit. Of course she fucking hates you. And then this asshole sets up, he's raising money for St. Jude. All he's doing is skimming. We dealt with this when his charity got shut down. St. Jude has an entire apparatus for raising money. As a matter of fact, tell you what, in honor of Letitia James and this back and forth, let's see, I'll set a date. Maybe Valentine's Day would be a good day to do it. I think that's on what day is, hey Siri, what day is Valentine's Day on this year?
Valentine's Day is on Monday, February
So Monday,
14th,
great.
2022.
Tell you what, morning show and the afternoon show on February 14th, when I'll be flying back. Shit. It'll be I'll be back in time to do the afternoon show. I'm going to do a fundraiser for St. Jude's. on the channel, where all proceeds will go to that. And here's how we'll do it. There's a charity thing both on YouTube and on Twitch, which I can set up, that no matter what you put in, it goes straight there. It doesn't go to me, and then I write a check and fucking hold up a big piece of cardboard and pat myself on the back. It just fucking goes straight there. You think St. Jude's doesn't have people that will show up as volunteers with little credit card machines and counters and set up stuff? If you like, I'll invite all these rich fuckers. You guys gather the money. Because you don't need it. Dude fucking skimmed off the top. He took a service fee like he was a goddamn credit company. But the whole purpose is, like, when you do that, just do it. What do you need? What do you need the fee for at all? They did it at their own properties and then charged the charity for holding the thing at their property. Donate the time at Mar-a-Lago if you're doing a charity thing. It's your fucking property. I've never understood that shit. Look how... well done, Foggy. Right? Hey, Kate, stop like, can we trust Al? You don't have to trust me. That's the point. Go straight through. Don't trust me. I don't even know why you have to. But again, why? You own Mar-a-Lago, you own Bedminster, right? That's your property. The room's fucking empty. Why the fuck aren't you rotating through a charity for somebody there once a month and just go, yeah, just pay for the food and the staff. We gotta, we have to have, like baseline minimums. And you know what? Fuck it. They'd be working anyways. We'll pay for it. If there's a specialty food thing you want to hire somebody, let us know. It's a charity. We're billionaires. We're great. We're the greatest business people in the world. But no, they hold these things at the properties so they can skim off the top, and then he gets an extra, 3% or 5%, like he's a fucking credit card machine for facilitating the charity. How is that a fuck? Like, did anybody there? Is anybody there? Went, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. Spitty spit. Today we're raising money for St. Jude's and me. 97% of what you give will go to St. Jude's tonight. 3% will go to me. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, why the fuck don't I just go on my phone right now and donate on to St. Jude's? Well, with some sort of app that allows you to put it up there, and you can just feel good. That fucking sucks. No, you gotta pay me 3%. Jesus. For what?
Name personally. He's going to know Tish James. I'm going to follow his money. I'm going to follow. That's not. This is what you would expect from Russia. This is what you would expect from Venezuela.
Well, no, believe me, we expect Russia to follow your dad's money because it's theirs, kind of, right? What isn't, I guess, Chinese or Bahrainian?
This is third-rate stuff. And, Sean, what
he means third world stuff. Because actually, she's doing really good. It's not third rate. Third rate would be ineffective and poorly constructed and stuff. She wouldn't be a pain in the ass if it was third rate. She's first rate. That's the problem. She's first rate at third world.
Bothers me, and the reason I'm fired up about this conversation,
is because I'm broke as fuck, and so is my dad, and so is my brother, and my sister and her husband can't be found. They're over in the fucking Middle East making all these big deals, and here I am dicking around on Hannity.
Little girl who was shot in Times Square last week. New York State is literally burning. It's rampant with crime. People are leaving by...
What? Dude, it's New York. People aren't leaving in droves. I mean, your dad did, but mainly because he thought DeSantis would protect him from extradition. What? Yeah, New York. Has anybody watched the Sons of Sam documentary on Netflix at all? Yeah, let me see if I can find this. I think this is the one. It might have. Yeah. Let's see. Like New York, 1980. Whoops, sorry. 1980 crime. No. This is. Can I show you? This is New York in the 70s. And for the record, I would just like to say I love the movie The Warriors. I want them. I want all the warriors. I want them alive, if possible, if not wasted. Just like, here you go, tour of New York back in the 80s. There you go. They had the big rat problem. Like, are we just gonna pretend like shit is like that right now? Because it fucking well ain't. Like, that's not what New York looks like right now. Can you dig it? Yeah, it was a dump. And crime was all over the fucking place. And then the Ford to City, drop dead. Vows to veto any bailout of New York. Here you go. Did we park somewhere around here? Gary, I swear we had the car right here. Yeah. Oh. Also, murders spiked 8.7% in 2019 as New York City crime rates tumble. That's nice. As other New York City crime. So they're too busy murdering the theft properly. Oh, Jeff thinks that the people, the 4 to 5, he wasn't here for the 4 comorbidities things on Fox. Roll back to the beginning of the show, dum-dum. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if... Hold on, there we go. 1 second. Check. I used to work in New York City. It was tough down there. Yeah. It was a lot of rough times. I grew a mustache out just to catch bullets. That's right. A lot of people make fun of the mustaches we had back in those days, but they were necessary. The smog was so bad, it was fucked up. I know a bunch of guys who they shaved off their mustache, walked outside, air killed them in an instant. Crime was so bad in the city, I'm telling you, that I actually went undercover as a cop. I was undercover. I was a cop undercover with the criminals, and they were like, "Dude, go! Like, we want you to pretend to be a cop." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And they're like, "Seriously, this will work." They'll believe it. Have you seen the cops running around? And I was like, I don't even know what cops wear. Dude, I was scrambling. There you go. Fear City. That's what they called it. They fucking called it. Look at that. That's New York in 1980. Garbage strike. Stink City. The crime, like, look, as Giuliani, that was nice back in the day when he, it was nice of him to broom out the Italian mob, being Italian himself, and then, he could help the Chinese and the Russians move in. It was a good deal for everybody. Hey, look at these dickheads. Now that all these assholes are uptown messing around. Meanwhile, people getting fucking snapped off downtown. But, who cares? It's not important. Anyways, New York sucks. Come on, you bastard. Yeah, fucking moron. Tell him what time it is, Eric. Tell him Eric's been around for a long time. We used to see him in a neighborhood. He used to walk around there. We used to call him Pasty. Not because of the skin tone, because he was always eating paste. Like fucking never stopped. And I remember he ate so much fucking paste that when those cheese things came out with the little cheese, little crackers, and they came with the little the little red stick. Remember the red stick? You remember the red stick? And you used that a little butter, your little cheese knife. Came with its own little red cheese knife. Remember that? This fucker ate so much paste, he was like, I invented that. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, using a stick to eat paste. I'm like, it's not paste, you dumb fuck. I'm eating cheese. It's a tiny red plastic cheese knife. Have some culture, you bum. Fucking pathetic.
Tens and tens of thousands fleeing for states like Florida. And
tens of thousands. That's like 100,000, I think. I mean, math ain't my strong suit. I ain't no uptown kid.
Literally, you have the entire district attorney's office, the entire attorney general's office, trying to look into every aspect of my father's life to see if they can find or manufacture a comma that was out of place to try and...
Yeah, well, I got news for you, asshole. When you're doing your books and there's a comma out of place, a million, 100,000, those numbers are delineated by commas, you dumb fuck. I do have a kind of guardian angels thing kind of going. I'll be glad to do it. We're going to stand around, let people get robbed. That's fucked up. Don't try to knockout game around my shit. You guys leave Rick Moranis alone. Yeah.
Because they know he's been the most influential politician and frankly probably the last 100 years in this country.
FDR would like a word, fucko. Also, first black president might have something to say about that as well. And I'm also going to say that most of the shit your dad did while he was in office was based on laws set in place during the Clinton years. Also, I guess fuck Ronald Reagan. Is that where we are now in the Republican Party? That's what they're saying now. That's what it is. Obviously Kennedy's time was cut short. God rest. God bless.
And they know they can't stop him in Washington, D.C., so they have to attack him at home.
Well, it's because he's not in Washington, D.C. anymore. He's in fucking Florida like an old man. He fucked off. He's like a typical New Yorker. As soon as their BMI hits 65, they fucking bounce down to Florida, sweat it out on the beach.
And they have to attack his family, and it's disgusting, and it's going to stop.
Really? You've talked to his family?
It's going to stop because, frankly, we've assembled the best legal, ethical minds, and we're going to sue.
Yeah, you got Rudy Giuliani, the pillow fucker, Lynn. What the fuck was that guy's name? Hold on one second.
I like Wood.
Lynn Wood. That's what it was. Sidney Powell.
This abuse of power. And that's the only way we can fight back, to sue her for this abuse of power.
We don't have equal justice under the law or application of our laws anymore. And I say that sadly. We're now criminalizing political differences. I say that sadly. Let me get your thoughts.
Yeah, you do say that sadly, Sean. I don't know why they're not cutting back to you right now while you're asking this question in the control room. Either you got a spray nose hair, you got some sort of booger situation going on, you're vaping, that fucking happens. Maybe you're vaping, fuck it.
We now know, and most of the media has not reported it, that your dad authorized, as the law requires, in the lead up to January 6th, up to 20,000 National Guards men and women to be utilized. The process then goes to the House of Representatives. That would be Nancy Pelosi. It goes to the...
And she was apparently a little bit nervous that this fucko, by putting people in charge of the military in the last 3 weeks of his presidency, changing people into jobs in the military as he had lost the election all the fucking sudden in a job they were going to get kicked out of in another 10 days, that all of a sudden those fuckers would be put in place, and then they're starting to handpick Nat Guard people to show the fuck up. Doesn't sound sketchy at all. I don't know why you wouldn't want these people all over the place. It's not like they're bringing weapons to the fucking Capitol.
Jurisdiction also of the D.C. mayor, Muriel Bowser. Muriel Bowser signed a paper. She would not call up the troops. Nancy Pelosi didn't call up the...
Yeah, and I'm with you, Sean. How the fuck does anybody expect a Trump rally in front of the Capitol to not turn into a violent attack on our democracy? You know what I mean? Who didn't see that coming? I mean, honestly, the fuck are these people smoking? Right, Sean? You tell them. Anytime somebody as shitty as Donald Trump gathers a bunch of other shitty people who are mad that he lost, that are mad enough to attack the fucking Capitol, or even storm in on the losing day and stand there like they're gonna yell at everybody till they overturn the election for you. That nobody saw that those fuckers were gonna attack cops and shit in the place and steal things and wreck statues and artwork and end up getting one woman killed, another woman stomped to death. How do you not see that, right? And I do mean not see that. You know, Sean, I think it's important. You know what I mean? January 6th committee is trying to get these answers. And I think you've stumbled on something, my friend. I think you have stumbled on something. Because I think the big lesson is that for anybody, if Donald Trump is gathering in your town and getting a bunch of people together, anywhere near one of your state capitals or something, I would surround the place with, like-minded militia to protect yourself. Just count on it. Just count on this fucker starting some shit and sending them your way. Just know it. That's what we all learned. There we go. There you go. See, progress has been made. Eh? You fucking orange. What the fuck color is that dude? Even with my sunglasses on, he looks like a tangerine. He looks like a tangerine fucked a member of our gang, and the kid came out with progeria. I know my headband is alive. It's just, what are you going to do? It's not a real toque. Get over it, fuck.
The head of the January 6th committee says that Nancy Pelosi is off limits. They can't talk to her. The sergeant at arms, the communications between her and the others is not being subpoenaed by the committee. Now
that's nice. Yeah, it's nice. They get a nice shot of him, getting the hand job right in the face as he's leaving the White House. This is old footage, right? This is old footage.
I say it's a sham committee with a...
Yeah. See, it says file up in there. Change that F to V and you're on to something.
Determined outcome, and we need a real committee that's going to ask questions, and I'll tell you why I want the answers. Because I want our politicians, elected officials, safe and secure, and I don't want to ever have...
Yeah, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Huh? That's what you want, you fucking mandarin orange. Oh, God, you're making me hate Christmas. That's what's happening. That's what he wants. He wants our elected officials to be safe. So I think lesson learned, anytime Donald Trump gathers a group of people anywhere near anything important, surround it with military because the fucker is going to attack it. Obviously. Great lesson. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for your input.
Another January 6th in this country. We're better than that.
Well, we are. I don't know about you. I mean, you didn't do shit. You're not going to do shit. Neither is he. I don't even know why we're looking at you fuckers. Trump looks happy, though. He looked like a little kid who just slammed his thumb in a car door. Owie!
By the way, there's no question, Sean. I mean, isn't it interesting that not a single member on the committee, didn't vote for impeachment? Every single one of the members on the committee.
Not a single member on the thing didn't vote for Good words. Good words. The order needs to be worked on a touch, I would say. Give it a little... but again, who gives a fuck how it started? Let's attack people for not knowing ahead of time that this would turn bloody. How did Nancy Pelosi and all those people not know that this would turn bloody? I mean, honestly, look at these fucking idiots.
Voted to impeach my father.
Oh, yeah. Look, file footage of Trump when he just gave up on the hair dye for a little while. Remember that? Remember that couple weeks when everything was fine and he just stopped dyeing his hair?
Also really interesting that, I was there at the time. Do you remember when they burned down the church right across from the White House? Do you remember when they were burning courthouses?
You mean the church that's still there?
And, in police stations all across the country, in Seattle and Portland and Chicago. And
yeah, I remember when your father was president. Fucking sucked. It reminded me of New York in the 80s. It's like he grew up in the 80s in New York and went, wow, this place is fucking horrifying. What if I could do this to the whole fucking country?
Placing bricks on the side of, streets in New York so protesters could throw them through windows. They didn't prosecute any of these people.
That was not true. Those bricks were for a construction site. They're also used to build things. If you knew anybody in construction, you might know that.
Where is that equal justice? So you can burn down a church in Washington, D.C., one of the most famous churches in the country. You can burn that down.
Well, no, you can't. I mean, you could set fire to it, but they're going to stop you, and they're going to stop the fire, and they're going to rebuild it, and it's still there. You can't. In case anybody's listening, in New York or anywhere else, I would like to say, as a former undercover police officer who also was an undercover criminal, went undercover with criminals as an undercover police officer, and also on their behalf infiltrated the police officers and just basically went back to my old job and made 2 phone calls a week that were tapped. I would like to say to anybody watching, especially if they're aware of the power and scope of Letitia James's prosecutorial arm, you cannot burn down a church. And no matter what this fucking guy says, you can't do it. You can't do it. You fucking can't do it. I'm sorry, the hat doesn't stay on. It's my hair. You can see it looks like a headband because it's whoever they make this for doesn't. They don't expect people to. It's for dudes, I guess.
And you know what? No one's even called into task for that. But yet, if you take a selfie in the Capitol, Sean is wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, well, it's not that you took a selfie in the Capitol. It's that you had to be part of a ramrod of people going heave ho to get into the Capitol or break a fucking window, and then you took a selfie. And while you were taking the selfie, you took a big shit in the rotunda and smeared it on fucking the Truman statue base and threw your garbage everywhere, and then went, where's Nancy Pelosi so I can fucking kill her, and shouted hang Mike Pence, which is a terroristic threat inside the Capitol because the fucking guy was there.
But I really hope Kevin McCarthy, I think...
Yeah, I'm not interrupting you. Where's the committee to investigate the 574 riots in the summer or the attack on the White House?
We don't need one. We got regular law enforcement for that, fucko. We got state, federal, we got local. They're looking for people. They arrested a bunch of people. They arrested him again a couple times when they were like, he was just protesting. He got scooped up, let him out. Then he got busted again. Same shit. Why do we need a committee about that shit? It's over. We know why it started. George Floyd, fuck off.
I think 60 Secret Service agents were hurt in that incident, and your dad and family were brought down to the bunker in the White House. But Eric,
that's not nice. Sean, why would you? What the fuck, dude? Bro, you're gonna bring up the fact that his dad ran down into the bunker like a wuss? Like a fucking toddler afraid of a neighbor's dog? You're on the way out the door with the outro music playing. You're gonna call his dad out for hiding in the fucking bunker? Bunker boy. And you're gonna and it happened. You're not even fucking around that didn't even really happen. They accused him. You're not even saying that. You're like, yep, I called him. I texted him. He was in the fucking bunker. He was on the toilet in the bunker, shitting himself bloody, scared to death. Fucking hell.
Appreciate you being with us.
How about the end of the RNC convention, Sean?
Yeah.
When they're attacking senators and congressmen as they're leaving the White House. I mean, no one to investigate that. That's the problem in this country. There's unequal scales of justice, and it has to stop.
Oh, right. Yeah, the people who went up and talked to Rand Paul. Remember that shit? They were attacked. Because they were having their people muscle their way through a crowd, and people were like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, who the fuck are you? When the fuck did New York crank out such wusses? What the fuck happened? What's this monochromatic lavender steel tie situation? What is that? I guess that's, hey, I must be an elitist. I don't understand this everyman monochromatic tie suit mix shit. Thank you, Paul. Hey, thanks Tobias Lulu. Hey, there you go. How you doing? Hey, Larry, thanks so much. Sarpus, thank you so much. Yeah, we lost a troll during this. Eric, you fucked up, buddy. Oh, we had a couple of trolls in here. I mean, we got a couple left. Don't worry. They're the ones who are trying to get, your dad's voters killed. There's a bunch of them in here. We got one of these anti-vacuous people. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? One of these people they believe it, like they don't believe in sticking a vacuum up to their ear because they know nothing will come out. Yeah. Basically a bunch of living dildo sheaths telling everybody they shouldn't get a normal vaccine. Like we don't live in the fucking like it's 1908 and somebody has suggested for the first time that we should all what happens if we give ourselves the disease? Like, hey, shut the fuck up, Ezekiel. Yeah, we got a couple of light web trolls. That's right. Sometimes, hey, we're tough around here. We can handle it. And if you're from, the neighborhood, you're welcome to come in here, troll around a little bit, mind your manners. Otherwise, you get bounced. You know what I'm saying? Get you in a headlock there. Virtual, but still, you know what I'm saying? No violence unless it's totally called for and totally spontaneous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you fucking Gumby. Yeah. So tell Bunker Boy we all said hi and go piss up a rope. I don't even know who that guy is, but I like him. I'm glad he dropped by though. Forget about it. It does have a bit of a Father Guido Sarducci about it just because of the mustache size. Yeah, I look funny after I've done one of the characters and you're like, oh yeah, that's what your face looks like. I'm still Hal from the block. It is a bit Cheech-ish as well, too. It's the mustache. It's the timing of the mustache. But anyways, so this all sprung off, by the way, we were listening to this was during Bongino's thing about our messaging problem, and I'm glad he cares. Hey, thanks, Bongino, who is looking for teepee for his bunghole. Bongino. He's trying to help us out, guys. He's trying to help us with our messaging issue. We have a messaging issue, and it's very difficult. It's not on par with Trump created the vaccine, but it's not safe to take, and he made it possible. He dealt with COVID better than Biden, even though it's not something you even have to deal with because it's fake. I wouldn't call that a messaging problem on their side, would you? What?
Let me explain this to you. What's going on here?
Explain it to us.
Why is it that the left claims we're irredeemably racist, we're insurrectionists, we're violent, we're aggressive, when in fact...
Well, we don't really. We're mainly talking about the people who are arrested for attacking cops and trying to shove a flagpole up their ass. Or who cracked a cop's spine by creating a ramrod and jamming their way in, and were yelling "Hang Mike Pence," and the people who built the fucking gallows, that kind of stuff. I don't think this about the the people who got busted in the villages for voting twice for Trump, committing voter fraud. Perhaps, hey, Kellyanne, there you go. Welcome to Twitch. Twitch.tv/HalSparks. Don't forget to subscribe using Amazon Prime. It doesn't cost you a dime. Look at that. Hal Pacino. That's actually a good one. Oh, I'll have your job, you shithead. Because you got a big ass. Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I just watched Heat the other day. When I see woman's ass, something happens to me. I need it. Keeps me sharp.
They're talking about themselves. And yet when we say things like, let's move towards radical federalism, where we shrink the federal government to its strict constitutional role.
Oh, you mean shrink the government down so small that Vladimir Putin could drown it in a fucking tub? Take the American experiment that we've been all engaged in. It made us the richest and biggest and most prosperous country in the whole fucking world. The only country that's even close economically to us has 3 times as many people, allegedly, as we do. But obviously we've been doing it wrong. So we need to fucking squeeze that, just destroy it. Fuck it. I don't know what we're doing. Yes, Dan Bongino has officially joined the Fuck America crowd. It was a nice while it lasted. Burn it down.
The states do what they want. Oh, that's insurrection. You're fomenting a civil war. Are we?
All right. He just, by the way, he just accused the left or Democrats of gaslighting him by us saying what he's saying we're saying, which we aren't saying.
How is that?
It is. It's Comic-Con Joe Rogan. That's what he is. That's great.
Exactly. We do have a constitution that provides for states' rights and a difference of opinion on how states should be governed. What's wrong with that?
Yes. What's wrong with that? Well, it's nothing. It's just the limit. There's limits to it because we don't want different standards of living for American citizens as they go state to state that are so drastic that they are unrecognizable or endanger their lives or their ability to pursue happiness. And also, in the case of Texas and all these other states where you're like, why don't we just drop off and not pay attention to the federal government? Basically, Bongino, if this was in the 60s, would be arguing that the federal government does not have the right to integrate schools. This is segregationist language, ironically coming from Bongino.
Was that a civil war exactly? You can't explain that. But what is the main?
You guys can't even explain how ridiculous the statement you're not making is. Why can't you explain the quote I made up that you said that you don't really say? Why can't you explain that to me? Why would you say such a thing? You mean the thing I didn't say that you said I said, or you seem to believe I'm saying when I'm saying something else? Yeah, that. Gee, I don't know. I can't explain it. I have an explanation. You're a fucking moron. That would be it. So, Bongino is looking for a teepee for his bunghole. How many views does he have? Cornholio has, on this one, he's got 56,000 subscribers, 2,800 views. I'm just saying, kids, we're within scramble range. We're within shooting range. I got 28K. I don't think his station's grown at all. Right? So we're sneaking up on you, Bongino. You better keep one eye on your 6 while you're looking for a teepee for your bunghole.
Driving ethos behind the left and why they will never, quote, let us go. Why? Have you ever thought about this? You ever thought about this? Really process this?
Yes, I'll tell you why we'll never let you go. Because we aren't actually going after you. This is all happening inside your head, and you can't escape your own pathetically small brain, no matter how much it bounces around inside of your empty cranium. The reason the left will never let you alone is because you have created a fantasy that they actually give a fuck about what you do or what you think in reality, and you think these thoughts all the time. The left lives rent-free in Dan Bongino's Dorco Dome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the left's entire guiding ethos, their entire meaning for their life, the hot pocket
is democracy.
liberals in their mom's basement playing video games all day, right? Their entire guiding ethos is
not all day. I mean, Elon Musk plays way more games than I do. I wish I had time, quite frankly. Now that I've added a morning show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, I don't have nearly as much time as I might want to. Even still, I'm multitasking. I'm gaming while listening to lectures on economics or fucking Kazakhstan or the bond market or the history of socialism, capitalism, Marxism, and communism in the 30s. Like, I got a lot of shit to do. And it's not a basement. It's the ground floor.
Subjugation.
Yes, there need to be somehow.
There is no meaning to their lives if they're not subjugating others. That's not us. We believe in family and friends and community and church and faith. Our life has meaning outside of.
No, you don't. Bullshit. I don't normally like to call bullshit on people's expressions of faith. I don't buy it. I mean, do you think he could do the 3:16 rattle? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Do you think you can roll that out? Like you eventually are able to do if you spend a good deal of time in church growing up and you still go with your family on holidays and that kind of stuff? Or I pray. I've talked about it in the past on my own, not in a building, not without I don't get permission. And that's the easy one. 3:16, man. Yeah, you're alleged Christian. And you can't whip out John 3:16? What do you think? This motherfucker probably says 2 Corinthians. Yeah. Is that your Bible? Trump, it's a Bible.
Politics. The left has no meaning outside of politics. Nothing.
Yes, we don't have children. We don't have pets. We don't have hobbies. We don't have bands we like. We don't go see comedy shows. The left has nothing. It's like we're all, I don't know, we're like these lonely, roided, balding assholes trapped in a room with a microphone, 8 hours a day, saying the same thing on 3 different platforms separately instead of just doing it all at once, getting it out of the way and having a real life. We can't cook. We allege belief in the Bible, but we can't quote it. Oh, hi.
Entire lives are identity politics, protest, social justice, fake social justice campaigns. They have nothing else. Their entire guiding ethos to their socialist mentality is the subject
is caring about other people. Eek.
Of others. But what does the subjugation of others require? Requires 2 things: subjugation and others.
Subjugation. That's why that's why that's why they protest, to subjugate other people, not to fight the subjugation of other people, to guarantee the people will get. B-Fits, thank you so much for the super chat. Not to fight against that. Subjugation of others take 2 things: subjugation and others. Boom, pow. I mean, you can't beat that kind of logic. He doesn't look like a guy who just went, "Oh my God, I just said the second dumbest thing of my life." You guys do realize nothing was actually said in those sentences, right? Nothing at all. Congratulations, Bongino. I don't know. We've got a couple more things to go, and I'm running out of time. But I do believe That's right. 5 eggs to Bongino today. I feel like we should only give him 4 because his head counts as 1.
Eat 2 eggs a day. 5 eggs in a month.
That's
5
right.
Eggs.
Today's 5 eggs go to Bongino, who is, of course, looking for TP for his bunghole. Congratulations. And I'm very exciting. Let's see. Should I throw in? I need to build one. I need to build one of the Zoltan like things, but with the eggs, right? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that tonight. 5 eggs. Everybody, throw your 5 eggs into the chat room in honor of 4 eggs here. Captain 1 Egg that thinks that all you do all day long is think of ways to put down Dan Bongino and Trump and Eric Trump. You don't have families. You don't have spiritual beliefs. You don't have favorite authors. You don't have a job you give a shit about. You don't have a career you're trying to work on. You don't have any of that stuff. Your whole life is eaten up with making sure that Dan Bongino is constantly reminded that he's fucking dumb. And apparently, this is well done, 5 eggs. Yes, congratulations. You already are way ahead of the game. Apparently, we're all so lacking in worth. You imagine how bottom of the barrel, like totally scraping the bottom of the barrel you have to be obsessed about what the fuck ever happens to Dan Bongino. You know what I mean? Like, he's fun to play with on the show, and I've never done a video where, like I said, we agree on the CRT thing. That's a generalized thing, but that's not what they're not complaining about CRT. They're complaining about diversity training. That's what they fucking hate. But we've never seen one of these where, and I'm trying to think, has there ever been a time, and I don't think so, where we played a Bongino thing, like, okay, there he made a good point. Ever. Fucking ever. Yeah, Elliot, a lot of atheists know more about the Bible than a lot of the readers do, unfortunately, and that's something that they need to work on. Thank you for the super chat, 5 Canadian with the 5 eggs. That's really sweet. Thank you, guys. This dude there will never be a moment while he still has a show called The Dan Bongino Show. That's what it's called, right? Is that the name of it? I mean, I understand I have that here, and I got my signature up in the corner. It's kind of a style thing, though. You wouldn't necessarily, if you look at it, it might just look like a little piece of art or whatever. But I let people know who I am. But this little like side version and stuff, are most of your viewers laying in bed, Dan? Are they all watching the show this way? All of Dan Bongino's fans watch it laying on the couch. Mm-hmm. Tell me it's gonna be okay, Dan. Love me, Dan. I can't sit up. What's the name of the show again? Oh, there it is. Why is the box sideways? I don't understand. Why does it even have to be there? I mean, we appreciate that he actually finally swapped this shit out. Remember, now he's just, hiding behind the flag and the Matrix or some shit. Somebody else made that for him. I made my own. Thank you. This texture brought to you by a photo I took. It's regular blue, but the texture is all taken from a photo I took of the heat shields on the Discovery at the Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian in DC, out by Dulles. And I went underneath, I took a picture of it, and then I blew up parts of it, and then I created texture. And it's kind of nice. It just gives it a little, instead of just solid blue, it gives you a little bit, not too much. Also, he's the guy who says that guys like me are weak soy boys. That's the other thing. That we don't work out, we don't exercise, we drink, we eat nothing but soy, and we waste away or something. Oh, Dranny boy. Dan Soul Patch gives you the illusion that he has a soul. I don't think he has a soul patch. He's got a goat, and it only comes in places. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. Hold on. I think this kind of like, hey, now we can relate. I can relate. Hey, man. Hey, buddy. Hey, pal. How you doing? You want to go to the gym? Let's tank it out, brother. Come on. I'll spot you. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to do. Like, after this, Bongino and I are going to go down. We're going to slam some brews. And by the, I mean, we're going to get some bruises and we just hit them. We just hit our bruises. It makes, it's shockingly, it's a fun feeling. It actually feels, it's kind of exciting, whatever. And he puts on the zipper hood and sometimes I will. And then we go down to the gym and pump each other. It's a good afternoon. You know what I mean? I mean, you ought to see him, tattoos out, if you know what I'm saying. That his, of all the, like, I thought Roger Stone's Nixon tattoo was amazing until I saw his Trump stamp. His Trump stamp was amazing. He's got a Trump stamp right here, lower back. You can see it when he's doing squats. And, I couldn't be prouder of the guy. I mean, sure, he's not a little thick. He's a lot thick. But he guarantees we're going to have a good time whenever we hang out. And then afterwards, we both go drink alone, really. I mean, it's what do you expect? We're a little off-putting, both of us. Whenever we hang out, people just go, ugh. And sometimes, it's interesting, less and less have I found that. Like, I'll find that, like, when he leaves, people are kind of okay. I've noticed that. Like, I just figured it was both of us, so I would leave. Like, well, I guess nobody likes me. Fuck, you know? And then I started hanging around, and Bongino took it on the fucking heel and toe, and then some people are suddenly talking to me. Oh, shit. Huh. Maybe that's, you know what? Fuck it. Hey, Gino. Hey, Bongino. It's you, buddy. It's you. It ain't me. Look at all these people. They like me. Hi, folks. How you doing? Maybe it isn't even your personality. No, it's probably your personality. It could just be your scent, your odor. You know what I mean? Go, next time you see Eric Trump or Don, ask them for if they've got any leftover things of high karate. That'll do it. I think I could shave my head and get away with it. It's not something I've thought of at all for a long time. I'd need to tank up a little more. Do steroids recommends privates? Yes, they give you man boobs too. Guys have to go get gyno surgery or whatever to remove their deposits. Oh, thanks, Renee. I think so. I could, it's not something I want to do, but it would be something for a show. It works for Rob Halford. It does, yeah. You think he's privatizing nothing all the time? I'm your turbo lover. Second gayest song he ever wrote, and I love it. Yeah, they get moobs from it. His name is Robert Paulson, right? This man has a name, and his name is Robert Paulson. By the way, the guy who calls out if you watch Fight Club, the guy who says his name is Robert Paulson and gets that chant going is the guy who plays Bill Tench in Mindhunter. David Fincher directed a good portion, the first Mindhunter season, and most of the other episodes they split some of them. And Fincher directed Fight Club and brought that guy in to play it. Yeah. Yeah. Screaming for Bongino! Right. by the way, I will be at the Ultimate Jam Night on the 18th coming up. Very exciting. A week from tonight, I will be in Los Angeles, which means I will probably have an earlier show on that Tuesday, and then bugger off to do sound check, and then I will do the Wednesday show from LA, and then come back, and then the 21st and 22nd, I will be in San Francisco doing shows. I got one show Friday night, 2 on Saturday. So what I'm more than likely gonna do is go into San Francisco on Thursday, I could probably, either late Thursday night, or I'll fly up Friday morning. I may have press in town. I think I do. So I have to go up Thursday. And so I'll do the morning show and the afternoon show from San Francisco, and then radio there as well on Saturday and all that kind of stuff. So 21st, 22nd, I will be in San Francisco doing Cobb's. And then February 1st is the Ultimate Jam Nights tribute to Edward Van Halen, our dearly departed. So Nerd Halen is going to be doing 2 songs there to support that endeavor. And then the following Monday, we bugger off to do the Monsters of Rock cruise. And I'm going to be not only doing Nerd Halen on there twice, I'm also going to be joining the Cheap Trick, I think, if we work it out. We've been talking about it, joining the Cheap Trick tribute. And I will be doing a song from Live at Budokan, as yet unnamed. And there's a very strong chance I might jump up on stage with pretty much anybody who will have me. Any of the bands that are going to be doing the Monsters of Rock, if you need me to... I know Tom Kiefer's Cinderella is playing, and I'm just saying, if he's having a sore throat... Did I hear Bob Saget died? Yes, we spoke about it on the morning show yesterday. We love you, Bob. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the prostitutes that had to clean up the scene. I mean, I'm sure they're on the run right now. I hope they're never found. If they can get to Gilbert Gottfried's house, they should be okay. So fingers crossed. We don't think they did it. It was, and the problem is, of course, that murder in 1990 is going to go completely unsolved. Yes, Google me singing with bands. It's a good time. Yeah, so I haven't decided on my Cheap Trick tune yet, and they haven't decided for it. They got a couple. It's interesting because I've done Surrender with my band a few times, and I've done it at the Jam even once. And I've done I Want You to Want Me in a long time ago in the 90s with a band I hopped up with, but I would figure everybody wants to do those songs, so I'm trying to pick one of the songs that isn't on that list. So yeah, Steel Panther, yes, we love them. And Steel Dragon. Thanks, Audrey. Thanks you guys for joining me today. I appreciate it. Yes. Much love. Do some Whitesnake. Should have known better than to let you go alone. Times like these can't make it on my own. Wasted days and sleepless nights, and I can't wait to see you again. Yep. My favorite, Crying in the Rain is my favorite Whitesnake song to play and sing. I fucking love that riff. That in one of my, I whip out my guitar and play on one of the live streams. I'll play that riff at some point because it is one of my favorite. It's just such a cool song. Anyways, now it's going to be totally a mystery. It's not going to be we'll skip the Midwestern goodbye and go straight to the redneck goodbye, where I just talk about hair bands and metal that I like for the rest of the show, and then we're stuck. Yes, Here I Go Again is always great. Little known story, CSL. when I first moved out to Los Angeles, I had no tape. I had a game show that I'd done, and I had an after-school special that I did, and I was like 2 years earlier. And so I was, it was good acting tape. It would work fine. But I had no tape of me singing. I didn't have any like live recordings and no opportunity to actually, because this is back before everybody had video of everything. And so there was a place in Westwood near UCLA, which I used to hang out in quite often with friends because college girls and older college girls, for the record. But when I was 18, rolled into town in LA, and this place you could go in there and it was like a karaoke booth, but they had a video camera and a recording, and you could pick a song and you could karaoke it, and they would tape it. Like, it was sort of like, mostly I think the idea originally was that they were going to use it to audition for people who were in LA that were auditioning for songs, that they were going to do on Broadway. So if they needed to send a tape, they could come and they go, oh, here's the music. And they would play the tracks, sing along with it. Oh, Love and Affection is awesome. I would love to do that one. It's so fun. And anyway, so I went into this place and they didn't have many rock songs. Yes, Like a Drifter was originally Like a Hobo, which is hilarious. Good T. Wheeler, news will come of that very soon. In strong force after the Monsters of Rock cruise. I'm spending most of my time on that, and there we go. But thank you for asking. And I did a recording of it, and I found the cassette recently, and I have to transfer it. I gotta get my old like cassette to digital, transfer deck. And because it's 18-year-old Hal singing Here I Go Again. And my voice is way better now. And even still, I was like, yeah, all right, kid's got legs. Something could happen. That's all right. It's not half bad. Oh, thanks, W. I mean, I love music. Music is, it's the solution to a lot of our problems. Anyways, God. Can we just do a quick one before I leave? Can we, I know I'm supposed to, I know I'm over time.
I've been upfront about it.
Oh God. You know what? I'm going to save it to tomorrow. I will. This one's going to be a long one. This one, I gotta go feed the family. I'm just looking at this clip. It's Greg Kelly. So it will take me, it'll be an hour. There's no fucking way. The CSL, the Greg Kelly one you gave me. Oh dear Lord. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll bring that one. It is a tease. I gotta have you come back. It works. I'm trying to be a businessman about this. But in the meantime, I love you guys and thank you for joining me. And I appreciate you hanging out. Even the trolls. Trolls, look, I know you hate me and I know you have preconceived notions about what you think my political beliefs are. And you know that you think I'm, some sort of baby eating, Hollywood something or other, lizard person. I know you think that, but here's the thing. No hard feelings. Get vaccinated and don't die. I'd rather argue with a living person. Stop being an asshole and you might make more friends. And everybody in our chat room will be here for you if you ever want a soft landing. If you ever want to come back to just normal life and you're like, fuck, I was an asshole. I have no friends and I've been buying this bullshit that Mike Pillow's been force feeding me for over a year now and all this QAnon nonsense. And I just want to, Al's a Republican, right? Yeah. This is not that I'm doing a terrible job. Just know that we're here for you if you ever want to just start giving a shit about human beings again. That'd be nice. And so that'll be the thing. This will be the place for you. I mean, you can still come here and type shit and be an asshole as well, I guess, as long as you don't use any racial epithets or you don't threaten any violence. We really don't care. And it really helps us out. Like I said, it helps us with the algorithm. And everybody else, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, share the show, let people know about it, proselytize, help us get the word out. I'm trying to elevate the show, if you know what I mean. Because, yeah, it's a Alex QD programming show. That's right. Yeah, the poor, lonely, dumb trolls have to have someplace to go. And they're safer here because they're not going to harm anybody. My whole chat's impervious to this shit. There might be other chats where they go in and they upset some people. Maybe give some people anxiety, hurt some feelings. Not here. Seriously. I'm so proud of our chat and the emotional resilience that we foster here. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's extraordinary. I've seen other people's chats. CSL's seen it. You've seen how people freak out and turn on each other and get all angry and broken and yada yada. Not here, baby. Not here, baby. It's all good. We take care of people here. And everybody's got the strength. Don't forget, by the way, if you're on Twitch and you haven't resubscribed, please think about doing that. If you follow on Twitch, please subscribe. Just if you have Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you a dime. Just do it. We're at 886 now, which is amazing. Thank you guys. Remember, we couldn't get above 800. It would always dump back down. So I appreciate you guys for subscribing on Twitch. And also, I'm going to, if our dear friend Jada is online, Ojeda is, let's see if he's up. I'm reopening the page so I can see if he's there. I'll send, yeah. So we're gonna raid our dear friend Richard at Airborne Ojeda and send him my love and support as best you can. And then at some point, he's got a picture of Einstein and Neil deGrasse Tyson behind him on his table, and we have to fix that at some point. We got to get some real scientists on his table. Oh God, now I'm getting science snobby right as I go out. Ugh. We need to get him a Nikola Tesla picture. All right. Much love, you guys. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And we'll see you very, very soon. Okay. Bye. Oh, and by the way, stick around for the credits because these are the people who helped make the show possible. Love you guys.